Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Malka Grossman, and today I'm here with Shai Attias. He is the original founder of the Israeli Ministry for Public Diplomacy in the Prime Minister's office, and is more or less a worldwide expert in public diplomacy. Shai, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, you recently managed to convince the LA Times to change a headline that you thought was quite biased against Israel. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I was in the middle of a very busy January for Israeli advocacy, another one that I've made on behalf of my organization. And all of a sudden, when I came back to, when I was on my way on my way to the hotel, I got on my iPhone headlines saying that 6 teenager Palestinians were murdered on the streets of Jerusalem by Israelis. And I think that moment I actually felt that something must be done immediately because it looks that we are losing the battle for hearts and minds to the Palestinians. And I think that in this moment, I understood that I must take an action. So I did a very, very simple thing, something that every citizen in this 21st century digital age can do by himself. I pick up my iPhone, I search the email of the editor of the LA Times, and I emailed him a long, thorough, very hard, harsh email about all the days that I've been through on Israel and the fears on the streets of Israelis. But the main thing that I gave him facts from the ground. I didn't just say that Israel is the good side and the Palestinians are the bad side. I actually gave a hard facts from the ground, like who were those Palestinians, who sent them. I gave a link to Abu Mazen's speeches. I gave him specific hours, specific locations, and I gave him the right information that I can say today that he didn't have, truly didn't have. And after a few days of back and forth of fighting for Israel, I got the wishful apology from the editor that he's not only admitted that he had the wrong media coverage, but also is now is obligated in front of me to change this attitude for the upcoming future. And immediately, I hope that the viewers will be able to see. You could have seen a change, a huge difference between before my letter and then afterward. And I think, Michelle, the biggest importance for my experience, I have to tell you, for the past decade, I'm dedicating my life to the States of Israel and its advocacy. Many people, especially the people who are watching us right now and all over the world, Jews and Israelis and pro-Israelis, feel that we're losing the combat for hearts and minds. And this is the bad news. The good news is that every citizen today, everyone that feels that Israel is having a bad coverage, not fair coverage by the international media, can actually take a step, an immediate step, which will be very efficient. You can write to editors, you can write to the international media desks, you can go to your Facebook, you can publish your status, and you will be surprised to realize how much power do you have under your hands.
Wow, that's good to know. Now, for some of us, it seems though that no matter what happens, these same mistakes keep happening because we've seen news outlets continuing to write these biased headlines even after they've issued apologies. So what do you think is really going to make the overall change in these news outlets?
So first of all, we have to understand that the fight for hearts and minds, it's a long and thorough war, and you don't have knockouts. You have only points winning. You must gain points after points after point. It's something that needs to take. It's something that's going to be a very long-term effort. But again, as I said before, the good news is that we can create this change. We can change the picture because, and this is very very important. In the 21st century, citizens have power, and why is that? There are many reasons, but the most important reason is that we, the ordinary citizen, ordinary people, we are holding the power for credibility, and the international media is pursuing 24/7 all the time for having this credibility portrayal. And once you will be able to convince, whether to convince the editor or the viewers of this specific channel that something wrong is going on out there with their coverage, even if they don't want to, even if the reporter is biased and against Israel by definition, or is a pro-Palestinians, it doesn't matter because the people who pay to those media channels to be exist wants to have a credible information. They don't want to have propaganda. The day of the propaganda are over. The days of propaganda are over. That's why it's very important to us to interpretate every experience that we're having of a not fair coverage.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for your insight into the situation, and I hope we won't have to report on these issues very much longer.
Very welcome, and I really hope that these kind of trials will help to change the picture for Israel to be a better one.